Okay, so let's get started with today's lecture. So I'm again still calling it lecture 13 because I want to continue what we left unfinished in the last lecture about Newton-Raphson method. So today I'll try to work out one small problem, and then it's not actually a small problem. It's kind of it will take some time to work it out. So, but then once it is good to study closely how we are solving one problem, then that is by hand calculation. Then you will uh, appreciate the algorithm and then how this load flow problem is solved and all. So I will be continuing, or we'll be talking about Newton-Raphson method. So also called NR method. This is the most useful used load flow method for solving. So if you're learning power system, so this is like one of the basic things that you should know. That that can you solve Newton-Raphson load flow method using hand calculation? So that is like one of the basic questions that you should know. So that's why let's spend some time working on this. Later, once we work out that problem, we can also I'll show you some software which is available as one add-on on top of MATLAB software to do power system studies like this. So I will we can actually solve uh, power system load flow problem for quite large systems. Okay, so we'll get started with that. So uh, so last time we had looked at this introduction of this Newton-Raphson method. So I'll just quickly cover that once again. So I'll start with one example. Let me just look at that. Yeah. So let's say f of x is a function like this. So like this. So the question now is that I want to solve this and find out what is the x. So we can actually the problem is so designed we can actually uh, try some numbers and then find out. So suppose if I consider x equal to 1, so this is 1 cube 1 minus 6 plus 9 minus 4, so that will give you 0. So the answer is 1. So that is one of the answers. You can try 4 also. So 4 cube is 64, minus 6 into 4 squares is some number, and then plus 9 into 4 minus 4. So if you just work it out, you will also find that 4 is also a solution. But then not all problems are like this. This is just for our understanding the method. So what I want to do now is you want to find out that. So I want to substitute something in x, and expected answer is 0. I want 0 as the expected answer. So I'll write f of x. I'll say expected is nothing but 0. But if I substitute some number, like I'll substitute x0. Okay. If I substitute x0 and then I can calculate this, then I'll get some calculated number. Okay. So let's call that calculated. So calc. So I'm expecting to get 0, but then if I substitute any number which without knowing what is the answer, then I might get some number x calc. In such a situation, what is your error? So I want to denote it like this, delta f. Okay, delta f is the change in the f, that is kind of error. So this is the error. So what is my error? So should I subtract expected minus calculated or calculated minus expected? So we have to calculate the f of x expected minus f calculated, f of x0 calculated. So because suppose expected is 0 and I calculated is 1, that means what is the error? Or I would say what is the correction in that sense? 0 minus 1 is minus 1. So if I apply the correction, so maybe error is not the correct word. Let's use the word correction for that. Okay, what is my correction that I want to implement? Okay. So now I'll just write something like this, delta f by delta x. See, uh, x can vary slightly because if I vary x, the f of x is also varying. So I'll say variation in f by variation in x. This is nothing but df by dx, differentiation. So you might have learned that the condition is that this delta x should be approaching to 0, limit delta x tends to 0, then this calculation is nothing but this one. But if I don't apply that limit tends to 0, then it is only an approximation, it is not exactly the correct this one. So this one I will use it as an approximate step. So this is like first term in Taylor series. So this is definitely approximation. So I will rewrite it like this. So delta f is nothing but df by dx into delta x. Okay, or I will write this one. I will put it in the denominator. So can I write f dash x? So like this. So this one, the numerator part is nothing but the correction. So that I already have. So if I want to know what is the correction in my x, then I can look at the other side and then I can calculate that. So I'll just, let's call this as A and then let's call this as B. So I'm just substituting A inside B. Okay. So in that case, what happens? See, for this purpose, because this is 0, so I'll put 0 minus this one, so it will be minus that one. So I'll directly, or let me write it like this: 0 minus f of x0 calculated divided by f dash of x. This also I have to calculate at x0. So you differentiate and then substitute your initial point x0. At that point you will get this. So this value is nothing but, so what is this delta x? So delta x is nothing but your correction. So I will write it, if x is my answer, x0. So x is my expected answer. So this is my correct answer. And this is my initial guess. Okay. So that is nothing but your delta x. Okay. So if I want to know what is the correct answer, then the correct answer is, so x is nothing but x0. So this will go that side, and then I'll say minus f of x0 divided by f dash of x0. Okay. So just let me write it clearly like this. So if you want the correct answer, you just take some answer and then do this correction, then you will directly get the correct answer. But because this is just an approximation, for one time you will not get it properly. So I can just do some kind of repeating. So repeat 5 times or repeat 7 times or repeat 12 times, whatever. You repeat it, I can call it x1 or I can call it xn and xn plus 1. Just take some number, do this everything on the right side, do this calculation, you will get another number. Put it back, do the calculation, you will get another number. Put it back, do the cal. So this idea, this is nothing but your Newton-Raphson method. So this idea is your Newton-Raphson method, that how you can solve some problem like that. Okay. So the thing now I want to try is apply Newton-Raphson method to see whether we are able to get the answer for this question or not. Okay. So I think these steps are quite straightforward. So what I'll do is I'll just remove the rest of the thing. So So by observation, we already know the answer is 1 and 4. Okay. So let's start with x0 equal to 5. Okay. I will start with some number x0 equal to 5. And then I want to find out the correct answer. This x0 is equal to 5 may not be the correct answer. So what is the correct answer? So x1 is equal to 5. So I'll write the formula or it's there. So 5 minus f of 5 divided by f dash of 5. So that's all. So this step I have to do. So what is that? So this is 5. So let me write down here f dash of x equal to, so just 3x square, okay, minus 12x, okay, plus 9. So this is my f dash of x, just differentiation of this. Okay. So 5 minus 5 minus 5 cube minus 6 into 5 square plus 9 into 5 plus, minus 4 divided by in this 3 into 5 square minus 12 into 5 plus 9. Okay. So just I substituted that. Is that okay? 3 into 5 square minus 12 into 5 plus 9. Okay. So I already tried it. So this is just calculation. So this one coming to 4.333. Okay. So I just tried it before. So you can work it out. Okay. So is 4.33 the correct answer? So one way to define that is you started with 5 and then your output is 4.33. So the variation is very large. From 5 to 4.33 there is a huge variation. So you repeat it until that variation is very less. Okay. So now what is the next step you will do? Just take into 4.3 plus 4 divided by plus 9. So this is again just a calculation. So how much will you get? I have written it down. You will get 4.053. 555. Okay. So now how much is the change from x1 to x2? The change is 4.3 to 4.05. So what do you do next? Since again the change is quite significant, you repeat it once again. Okay. So put the changes back again just solve it. So you will get x3 equals get 4.0019. Then you will get x4 equal to 4. So you can stop at that point and then say that that is the final. equal to start with x0 equal to 0, that will go to the x equal to 1 answer. But our idea is to use this concept for for solving of our power play. So let's go on to that. So, what will you do in the case of more than one variable? Then one variable. So, let's say f of x1, x2, x3. I'll write it x, y, z. Equal to 0. So my expected value is 0, but then I'm having f of x, y, z. Wait for it. Continue. So, what will you do? F. So, in our case, I'll rewrite it. NR. So, x, y, z, 1, 1, 1 equal to x, y, z, 0, 0, 0. This is the old value. Okay. Minus f of x0, y0, z0. Okay. Divided by okay. Partial differentiation. Divided by dou. Okay. So you will come to that. We'll see that in actually in the case of power distribution. All right, so let's take a question like something like this. So you have seen this same problem before also with different numbers. So, so this is bus 1, bus 2 and then bus 3 and then J 0.1, J 0.05. Okay, and then let's say yes.
Minus same number, not the value. F of x, x, y, z, f of x, y, z is a single number.
Yes.
Divided by Jacobian is also a single number.
Yes.
But you need three numbers to subtract from three variables.
So this there are three functions also. Actually, f1, f2, and f3 of like this. There are three functions. So it will be like that. So it's a vector. See, this is a vector. x0, y0, z0 is a vector. So I should write it like this: x0, y0, z0 minus Jacobian inverse into f of f1 of x0, y0, z0, f2 of x0, y0, z0, like this, f3 of, okay. So this is 3 rows, 1 column, this is 3 rows, 3 columns, 3 rows, 1 column is equal to x1, y1, z1. So you will get something like this and then you will keep repeating it. So you need 3 functions, f1, f2, f3, and that will be your this one and then J inverse and doing like that. So we will do for this you will exactly get like that kind of case. So
What is the expression for the Jacobian? The Jacobian is Jacobian.
so because we have 3 functions, three equations in 3 unknowns, so there will be 3 into 3 9 combinations. Okay, so the question is what is the expression for J? So I'll write Jacobian ith row jth column. Okay, ith row jth column. What is it? So it is nothing but partial derivation of ith function with uh, partial with respect to jth variable. Okay, take the function ith function. You take the ith function and then differentiate with jth variable. So that will be the I comma j of your Jacobian matrix. Okay. So for example, if you want j2 comma 2 or j2 comma 3, then what will you do? You will take differentiation of f2 at x0, y0, z0 with respect to third variable, that is dg at g0. So you will do that to get that. So in our this example, you will have all this exactly the 3 by 3 case. So we'll do that. Okay. So let's go ahead. So look at this power system. So here, so just look at this power system, and then here. So I have taken input data like this. It's a 3-bus power system. I am generating voltage of 1 at 0 degrees, but then how much P and how much Q I don't know because it's a slack bus. I can only generate specify the voltage and angle. Then there is a transmission line 1 to 2. At 2 there is a load, and the load is 0.5 per unit active power and 0.3 per unit reactive power. And since I am talking about injection, since I am talking about injection, I am putting minus 0.5 and minus 0.3. Okay. So this is about P2 and Q2, and P3 is positive because I am injecting the power. So what is Q3? That I don't know, because for generator voltage is specified but the reactive power is not specified. Okay, so I want to solve, the question is like this: solve using NR method. So solve the load flow using the NR method. So for any case, so what you will do here, what are my unknown states? So first of all, what are the states? V1 delta 1, V2 delta 2, V3 delta 3, 6 states. So out of that, what are the unknown states? V1 delta 1 you already know, okay. V2 delta 2 you don't know. So my unknown states are V2 and delta 2. The magnitude of V2 and then the phase angle delta 2. Here V3 magnitude you know, V3 delta you don't know. So I'll write it delta 3. So these are my unknown states, okay. But it is common practice to reorder the states like this. So first put the deltas and then put the voltages. So delta 2, delta 3 and V2. So these are my unknown, this one. Let's call it X equal to, this is my unknown states. Okay. So the ordering is deltas first and then voltages next. That is my unknown states. Okay. To solve for delta 2, what is the equation I should use? I should use the equation of P2 equal to. Okay. To solve for delta 3, see, 3 unknowns, I need 3 equations. Okay. To solve for delta 3, I will use P3. To solve for V2, I will use Q2. Okay. If I have a function for P2, if I have a function for P3, if I have a function for Q2, then I can solve the unknown variables. Okay. Also notice the same thing, P2, Q2 and P3. These 3 numbers are already known. So expected value is already known. Okay, so if I get a function f1 in terms of delta 2 and v2, okay, if I get a function in terms of these 3 variables for p2, if I get another function delta 2 delta 3 v2, if I get another function f3 delta 2 delta 3 v2, same thing, this is all same. So if I get these 3 functions, okay, I can calculate the calculated, like I can get a calculated value of P2, calculated value of P3, calculated value of Q2. But then I know the given value of P2, given value of Q2 and given value of P3. Okay. So the calculated value and I know the expected value. So calculated minus expected, that error I want to, or the correction I want to make. So the correction I will make it like this. So I'll start with delta 2 0, delta 3 0 and then delta 3. Initial case. Okay. So what is the initial case for delta 2? I take 0 degrees and 1 point. I start with these initial values. Then apply using these functions. I find out what is this errors, and then I use the Newton approach. So how I use it? You will next. This is the general plan. So I want to know what is f1, what is f2, what is f3. 3 functions I have to write down. So I require a lot of space. So I will be kind of clearing some part of the. So what is bypass for this system? So many times we have done. So between 1 and 2, j.1, that means it will become j10. Okay. 0.3, I have 0.05. Okay. So what is 1 by 0.05? Sorry, this is between 2 and 3. Okay. How much is that? j20. Is that right? Minus also will be there. But so while writing here, second row, third column, 2, 3. Third column will be j20. So the same thing will be here. There is no line between 1 and 3. So this is it.
my y bus. Once I write the y bus and then my P2 that order P2, P3. So what is P2? 5. And then this is plus 0.3 and then this one is minus 0.2. Okay. So once I write down y bus and these expected values, so I can erase the diagram and I know all these other states. So also put that V1 delta 1 equal to 1 and 0 and then V3 equal to 1. So this also I know from this problem. States are given, the other 3 states are unknown. So let me get rid of this diagram. So now I just so you have seen this before also. So nothing. Write down questions for what is P3 and then what is for I selected these 3 functions out of the based on my unknown state. So what is P2? So you know that. So this is I equal to 1 to n and then I to 1 to I and then I and then cos of. So this also we have done many times using the what you call our Kirchhoff's current law and then expanding and all. So I now already have a function. Okay. So if I expand it, how does it look? Let me expand it. I equal to 1, 2, 3 because there are 3 buses. Okay. I'll expand it and then write. So I21 V1 cos of theta 1 minus delta 2 plus theta 2. So this is the first term. Plus V2 Y22 V2 cos delta 2 minus delta 2 plus theta 2. The second term plus Y2